Hello and welcome, my name is Ramon, and in today's video I'm going to analyze the notorious traits of the physiques of the 60s and 70s, also called the Golden Era. This video is going to appeal to all Golden Era fans as well as those who actually want to have their physique resemble the Golden Era look. The earlier mentioned notorious traits of the Golden Era physiques can be more easily viewed when put into contrast with modern Classic Physique division competitors, the most prominent representant of course being Chris Bumstead. Now jumping right into the video. I know big arms by itself sounds very stupid, but hear me out. The Golden Era arms were very large, not just by themselves, but especially when looked at in the big picture, meaning when they are compared to the rest of the body. The upper arm was on almost all Golden Era bodybuilders the most prominent muscle group, only rarely on the same level as the chest or dominated by the chest, but that was even more rare. The Golden Era arms not just hold up to modern Classic Physique competitors, but sometimes even dominate them, especially when looked at in the big picture for following reason. Shoulders during the Golden Era were not particularly big, especially because of the illusion that the big arms made, since they were always dominating the shoulders. We have a very prominent rear delt weakness amongst bodybuilders during the Golden Era, which didn't include all bodybuilders. We have Serge Nubret with a decent rear delt, we have Mike Mentzer with a decent rear delt as well, but you're not going to find a single Golden Era bodybuilder whose tricep is not passively protruding past his shoulder at literally all times. We have many pictures showing this on every single bodybuilder. We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ferrigno, we got Serge Nubret, Robby Robertson, we've got Mike Mentzer, everyone, literally everyone. And this is something that you often don't see anymore, especially the rear delt weakness. That doesn't exist anymore. Every modern Classic Physique competitor has got huge rear delts, especially big shoulders. In fact, we've often got a shoulder dominance nowadays, which is the opposite of the Golden Era look. So if you want to have the Golden Era look, it is time to let your arms dominate your shoulders, to always have your tricep protrude past your rear delt by either just having a really large tricep or having a very weak rear delt. The rear delt weakness is not necessary, just the tricep size is necessary. So you choose how you do that. This is not a trait that includes all bodybuilders. We have some bodybuilders whose lower body was quite balanced compared to the upper body. For example, who comes to my mind instantly is Mike Mentzer. Mike Mentzer had quite the quads, and they were looking quite balanced when looked at in relation to his upper body. However, we've got a majority of Golden Era bodybuilders whose quads were looking rather small when looked at in comparison with their upper bodies. As the most famous example, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself or Serge Nubret. But even with the bodybuilders who had strong quads like Mike Mentzer, the legs still looked a bit different to today. And that is because the lower leg was always in balance with the upper leg. You did not see a single Golden Era bodybuilder with weak calves. That is not a thing. Look at every single Golden Era bodybuilder and compare the quad size to the calf size. They are always proportional. You are never ever going to see a quad dwarf a calf. There is unfortunately nothing special to say about those muscle groups, apart from them always being very well developed, especially the chest. You always saw big and full chests. Maybe one of the reasons for the notorious full Golden Era chest look was because of the lack of extreme conditioning which we began to see in the 90s. I don't know if that is just due to very good dieting or because we saw an introduction of certain compounds. I'm going to leave it at compounds because I don't know what I can say on YouTube. Forearms always seem to be intentionally or unintentionally well developed. I suspect that this was because of the big use of free weights, because machine use was just not as widely spread. In fact, Arnold Schwarzenegger even spoke about trying to keep his forearms small intentionally in order to make his upper arm look bigger. And Mike Mentzer, with some of the greatest forearms in bodybuilding history, never trained them deliberately. I am mentioning forearms because forearms sometimes look weirdly small and unproportional in modern bodybuilding, although this might just be due to extreme conditioning, which makes the forearm flexors just be visible passively, which gives the forearms a very skeleton-esque look and makes the wrist look small. Another thing which doesn't really matter to you unless you're competing is the lack of artificial tanning. Bodybuilders used to actually tan in the sun and then use oil as their preparation for a show, and that was it. There was no artificial tanning. So the new artificial matte tanning is a thing which obviously gives the physique a drastically different look. Now for the practically most important piece of information in this video to you as a lifter is following. It might seem intuitive to adopt a golden era training regimen in order to acquire a golden era physique, and I can't blame you for thinking like this. However, let me put it differently. Perhaps it is not a good idea to train like a genetic anomaly on steroids during prep phase as a natural bodybuilder in a technically continuous off-season. Maybe you think differently now. I really hope you do, because you're not going to get far training like a prep phase steroid user for years. That is not going to get you far. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching this video. Please subscribe because this is really different content, very in depth, right? If you're into this, give me a subscription, please. Give me a like, comment, okay? Give me some video requests, nice criticism. I would love that. Have a nice day.